This is my routine every morning. Okay, for first, when starting a bike, turn the key. So, as you can see, my bike's in neutral right now. And I try to start it, it's not going to work. Depending on what type of bike you get, you might need to have it in neutral. So, sorry, I have to multitask. So, see, with me, with my Kawasaki, I put the clutch in. I put the clutch in. Nothing. Nothing. So, put it back to neutral. Ah! Yeah, so, that's a weird thing. But as you can see, I'll roll it back, and first, and the kickstand's up, it'll start. So, kickstand up, first gear can start, but just start in neutral. And remember, it's 1 and neutral, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how many things you have. God, people don't know how to park their bikes. The struggle is real. Also, yeah, I have to tell my roommate to move over a little bit. First thing is clutch control. Now, again, neutral's usually a half a shift up, and your bike will show where it's going. But to go, you can actually just kind of sift it out. Spend like a half hour. Like as you can see, look, the friction zone, like with a stick shift car. And it wants to move forward. And you'll find that sweet spot. You are going to stall a few times if you're not used to it. It's not muscle memory. So, I could honestly just, I'm not hitting the throttle at all, and this thing wants to go. That's what they teach you. So off, on, and I apply a little gas in that friction zone, and then let go. You don't need to worry about downshifting yet. I mean, if you know how to drive a car, it'll become easy, but stop. Friction zone time. And you can hear the engine like wanting to go. And this is how I coast through traffic. My feet are already in the shadow here. You can't really see my feet in the shadow. So, let's run.
Keep an eye on your mirrors too, just so you are aware of what's going on behind you, because sometimes they don't pay attention.
So, next thing will be is that your controls, throttle, front brake, down here is the rear brake. Honestly, you're not going to be using this that much because you'll kind of, if you use it just without this, you'll lose the rear. And I've done it plenty of times, but I ride dirt bikes, so it's a habit. Kill switch turning on, obviously this kills the engine. This is my heated grip, so that's not pertinent. High beam and low beam, you're not really probably going to have to worry about that. Turn signal left, turn signal right, but be mindful, you're going to have to pull this off because there's no automatic stuff in our type of thing. And that's self-explanatory, high beam, low beam. So for turning, when you're at low speeds, you want to use it like a bike, is that you're actually going to lean the bike, you're going to stay upright. You got to look where you're going. So I will give an example here. There's no cars behind, there is a car behind me. Go ahead, come on, just go. And watch my hand as I put pressure on the handlebar. That's that counter steering. So full stop. Looking and pressing. So. left. So, I'm coming up to the stop, making a left turn. Stop, obviously. It's a stop sign, so I have to. Look, lean, and press. Look, lean, press. I'll have to show some examples of shifting when you're actually moving. I don't have a microphone on me, but that's not really, you know, once you get out of, you know, first gear, it's like a bump. Clutch in, throttle out. And downshifting, you don't really need to worry about. You'll probably hit it down and it'll just kind of do it. Just obviously don't go from 4 to 2 in a quick second, like in a panic. If you're gonna like have a panic stop, just pull the clutch in, jump it down to first, and just hit the brakes. You don't, you know, you're gonna be not going that fast to begin with, but just be careful. In Vietnam, I've heard drivers there. But when I get moving, I'll point my camera down to show about like shifting and the controls. So like, it's pretty simple concept of it. So, I'll wait till but let's try that concept of, you know, hitting the handlebars to turn. I'm hitting my feet against the pegs right now, and the bike's like, what are you doing? However, pressing my right side, pressing my left side, right.
Even though this is an example of me going into either lane, when you're changing lanes, you want to look over your shoulder, then check the mirror, and then jump back in really quick. Because technically I'm going to make a left up here at this turn, and I just want to check and see if there's a threat coming in, boom, clear, and I can keep going. Assume nobody can see you either. Oops, hi there. This is actually one of my favorite stretch of roads, and when you're going at that higher speeds for turns, you're going to lean with the bike over at the angle. See, I'm taking it easy to show you the emphasis of it, that you don't really need to have a dramatic turn like most riders do. Yeah, like that's shaking my head like, yeah, it's like, you know, you don't need to do that whatsoever. And it's more so when you get more miles under your belt, is that when people start doing something like that, or you never ever have to do it. Going through a turn, though, you're going to want to keep an eye on the end of the turn. You don't go look at the tree, you don't look at the pole, because target fixation is a problem, definitely where most riders fall. I fell within the first 2 days of riding because of target fixation. I locked onto a post and I slipped in the moss, and that is like, so you see I'm going to go through the turn, I'm going to be a dick in this turn, and my head is still looking through the end of the turn completely, not looking at the ground. I kind of look ahead. Like, I look up at the, roughly like, you know, those fence post lines, is that I'm still, eyes are still on the road going through the turn, and I turn my head a little bit more dramatically than others do, because that's just how I was trained. But honestly, it's something that, see, like, I'm, like, you could technically, you might want to look at those guardrails, but you're going to look at it idly. Kind of like the way you're going through a turn with a car, except the car, you can look over at the tree really quick. Not so much with a motorcycle. And, I think I did a little bit of a dramatic turn here. Wait for it. Boom. Not really.
It's one of those things. It's your call. But I forgot to point out that this is the shift lever. As you see, I just put it down into first, like up, up, up. It won't let me get out because up, up, up. So it's pretty clear cut and dry. Motorcycle maintenance, you're not going to worry about that because you're only there for 2 weeks. And, I don't know, pretty simple. Clutch lever, front brake, throttle, obviously the key, turn on the bike, rear brake. So, don't really need to use this one this much. So yeah, let me know if you need any more elaboration and I'll gladly do it. See you.